All right, so we just got this thing to read successfully with the help of Chris or Jerry. That's freaking awesome. I just wanted to thank him personally. So I just pulled up the file. I'm looking at my VE map. And remember when we took this thing out, I had the wideband in the car. We throttle on the car, and James and I were riding it, and it was like, it just fell down. It had like no fuel or anything like that. I'm just going over this chip that I did, God only knows how long. It might have been 5 years ago. It might have been 3 years ago. I really don't know. This is a major, major, major step in the right direction, so I'm pretty stoked. All right, so I got some help from Chris right here. Do you want to be on camera? All right, so we just got our first calibration on there, so we're ready to roll. We're ready to tune this thing. So we cut some fuel out of idle from startup, and it's a little less smoky already. Still smoky, still rich. You gotta add a lot more fuel at heavy throttle. Got a bunch of stuff going, but man, we're finally on the way to getting this done. So again, I wouldn't have been able to do this without his help. 700 pounds of lift. Oh yeah. You know what time it is? Time to make some power. So we changed our fuel, we took the spark plugs out, we cleaned them. They were little fuel fouls. The oil had a bunch of fuel in it, so we got rid of that, put some new fresh oil in it, so she should be ready to rock. I looked through the software, looked through all the stuff, and I kind of went through everything with a fine-tooth comb, and I really hope that everything works out nicely, and we're gonna try and see what kind of spark advance it wants, see what kind of fuel it has. Before, when James and I went for a ride, it was really leaning out, so I added a bunch more fuel, so hopefully we're gonna have a lot of fuel. So we'll see how it goes. Some oil on the header. Yep. Okay, so I got some of the injector calibration a little bit more ironed out, and it revs so much better here. Hell yeah, dude. There's no hiding that. That was very ugly. We have a extremely rich area, and then it starts to lean out. So we're gonna figure out what the heck that was all about. Did not make that much power at all.
This is so cool.
It was like 289 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. So I have no idea what's going on. I'm having to do this semi-blind. I tried to get the data logger to work, couldn't get it. Tried to go to another data logger to work, couldn't get that one to have the compatibility with the windows that I'm using. So here we are.
How do you do timing on this?
I think I'm running like 27 degrees of timing, and I'm just gonna play around with it. We're gonna figure it out. This is like it's gonna be kind of dinosaur stuff. So here we go. HP Tuners has me totally spoiled. Normally I would go down through there through the diagnostic port. Well, right here, right now, I have to remove this chip every time I want to do something. So we're going to remove that there chip and pull it out, put it on the
no way.
I'm going to put this, and I'm going to reflash it. I couldn't get the emulator to work either. Unfortunately, I'm having to deal with this right now, but we are making progress. It's something. So
is that like the computer?
This is the brain, all of us right here. And it's just this guy here too.
Dude,
so
that's so cool. You're tuning that.
Yeah, it's I just cleaned up some of this stuff, so I was actually really stoked. Like it's got an LS1 injector, so I put some of the injector characteristics in there. It cleaned it up a lot, but it still has a lot to go. We had a loose distributor. We didn't really realize that was the case. Don't tighten it yet because we got to see.
Until George grabbed it, manhandled it.
And she started spitting and sputtering.
Get out of there! It's not true.
Anyhow, we found our electronic spark control wire, and basically that takes it
tan wire.
Yeah, it's a tan wire right here over by the brake booster with a black tracer. So we get it cranked up. I got to sit here and hold it because it is not happy idling, and we'll disconnect it and try and make sure that it is at the correct spark advance. So we're looking for 6 degrees. So go ahead and fire it up, and that, yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Alright, so we want to advance it. Right there.
Okay, here I'm plugging in the electronic spark control and checking the timing again. And normally when that's plugged in, I should see something about 20 degrees. I realize something is wrong. And I'm like, what the heck is going on.
Still like 6 degrees.
Oh, really?
It's weird.
All right, guys, we're going to check some fuses. We'll be back with you shortly. So if you guys didn't know, this is an EEPROM, and that's where Fasterproms came from.
Indeed.
Fasterprom. When you told me that originally, I was like, what the hell's a prom? I had no idea.
All right, so let's see if this guy will work. So it's got to have the electronic spark control module is this board and these two EEPROMs. This one's or 86, 87.
What year is this car again?
It's an 87, but we're running a 90 processor. I had another chip right there that had a different ESC control board on it, so that's the electronic spark control board. I think the one that I had was just faulty. I mean, we might even throw this in and the thing picks up like 100 horse. I have no idea. I could have also messed something up because I had some wires that were arcing.
Yeah, shorty.
And we haven't found that exactly yet, so it's unfortunately right now there's a little bit too many variables, but we're knocking them out one by one.
Alrighty, so our team tuner has put the freshly flashed... Jeez. Our team... Trying to say that 5 times fast. Freshly flashed EEPROM is in the car, and you're going to make a rip.
Yes, sir.
Our freshly flashed... freshly flashed EEPROM.
Anyone I fleshly flash.
Woo! Sound pretty good now. Multi-day. 400 horsepower. What? Alright, we're doing another one. That was FUBAR, but wow. It is not happy. It made 407 the first rip, 385 our torque reading had a miscommunication, but this thing might be making 400 horsepower, and we're far from having it, you know, really tuned up. What do you think on that? What's our next move?
Well, I mean, we're definitely lacking fuel, so it's, I don't know if the fact that we just got all that spark advance, I mean, it definitely picked up very substantially. The 140 in that same area right there.
Did you watch behind the car at all?
I tried, and it was spinning, farting, sputtering and stuff, so I don't know. I don't know if we're breaking up. I mean, it seems like it's breaking up, and throw some more fuel at it. I mean, always best to kind of, you know, go a little bit more conservative with it. So we're going to roll back the spark and try and throw a lot more fuel at it, but it is difficult to try and...
Yeah, so many variables.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm going blind, you know.
Yeah, you really are.
I don't have any... we're very, very crude tuning right now, so I mean...
Alrighty, did some fuel changes, did some smoothing.
Took some spark away.
How many degrees do you think?
I pulled 2 degrees just to see what's going on. So.
Okay. See here, damn, 391 horsepower. Still getting lean real fast, so we got to work on the fueling, but we're taking baby steps.
So just a minute ago, Laz went and cranked up the fuel pressure as high as we can go. We can only get about 51 pounds out of it, right? Well, we're going to see what we got here. We made some changes on the calibration there. I keep trying to throw more fuel at it and add more fuel on the bottom. It's kind of rich on the transition stuff, so just a lot of crap going on. It's kind of weird. I don't have the data. Not having data logging is kind of killing me, but I got a feeling we're going to do a little bit better here because I've been throwing fuel at it and there was just nothing. So this is kind of our magic bullet here. So we're gonna see if we can get it right here. That's a hell of a lot more power than it's made. Wow. 461, 428. Dang, dude. That's a lot of torque. I have no idea what even happened there. This thing just, it's like, so it's like really, really lean and then, man, wow. That's
make for an interesting ride.
Yeah. It's pretty violent. I mean, there's no doubt about that. That was only like 115 miles an hour. So this has got 373s and it has got a 26.5-inch tall tire. Went 131 out the back door, and I think that was only like 115, 117 miles an hour. Let's go check some of that stuff. But I mean, every pull we're learning a little something. So we had a major dip in the middle of the power curve, and just adding a couple degrees, it picked that up. So this is the smoothest the curve has looked. I think this is the most power I've ever made on a small block, like traditional small block. And again, I haven't tuned a lot of them especially in a long time. But this is so sick. 462 horsepower, 433 pound-feet of torque on a non-locking converter. So man, I don't know if more spark advance is really going to help, and I don't really seem to have too much control of the fuel map, but dude, that is freaking awesome. That thing rips. It's like, especially going from that like bog to like all of a sudden you're at 120, man. It's just, it rolls. Let's see if we can make some more. But clock just struck midnight. All right, we're gonna make this our last pull. We had 462. We got a little bit more changes here. I'm really pushing the envelope. We're all tired. Tuner life.
So Jeremy, when did you pick up the Aquanet?
I was at Publix and I was like, you know, this is not only a fine hair product, I could also use this for the dyno.
It does say extra super hold.
As an alternative to VHT, the Aquanet. What a difference though, like all that extra fuel made such a major difference. Like it was like blah, 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 and now it's like blah, 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 blah. Guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been a monumental day, and definitely a lot of thanks to Laz and George for helping out, getting everything to work. And also thanks to Garrett for helping video and stuff. This has been a really rough day. Had a lot of weird things kind of going, but this is kind of showing like that we came out on top. This was absolutely awesome. I had so many doubts, so many different concerns, and so many different things that were really holding this whole project up. I wanted to say thanks again to Chris for helping all of this happen. Helped me out with the tuning program, and what a major difference. So despite no data logging, or despite all the lack of information, despite not knowing how to change the electronic spark control, all the other problems that we were facing, we're making freaking awesome power. I mean, this has made 471 horsepower and 437 pound-feet of torque on a non-locking torque converter on some 93 octane. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is junk fuel. We got so many good things to look at out of this whole thing. I think my dad would be extremely proud of this. I'm proud of my dad for building this thing. This is so sick. Craziest amount of power I've ever seen out of a small block, and I didn't even know that it would lay down a number like that. To trap 131 miles an hour, I had a pretty good idea, but this thing freaking rocked. We still have valve train stuff to go through. We might be able to adjust it and make a little bit more power. We haven't checked it in years and years and years. And so this is a solid roller. We got to check the lash and go through all that type of thing. But what a day. I can't believe it turned out like this. So I'm glad we put in the time. Again, it's a little bit, it's almost 12:30 right now. So wow, I'm gonna be like on endorphins here for a little while. So this is really great. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless you. Please check out some of our merchandise. It really does help support all the stuff of what we're doing here. If you got a dad around, give him a hug. Tell him you love him. We'll see you.
No, he's like... Ow! She bit me!
I'm gonna go squash you. Just another day. I can't believe she bit my love handle.